In the quiet English town of Lynchfield lived a young couple named Oliver and Mary. They had been inseparable since childhood and had been through many trials together. Oliver worked as a carpenter, and Mary helped her mother in the family cafe. Their life was modest but well-fed. Despite financial difficulties, they were happy, dreamed of the future, and wanted to have children. One day, strolling through the city market, the couple saw an advertisement for a children's shelter. It said the orphanage was looking for loving families for children without parents. Oliver and Mary couldn't let this go unnoticed. They discussed their feelings and soon decided that they wanted to take a child from the orphanage into their home. After going through all the necessary procedures, they chose a little boy named Jack. He was only 6 years old, had an athletic figure, huge eyes, and inexhaustible energy. At the first meeting, Jack immediately fell into the soul of Oliver and Mary, and they began to build their new life, gaining a full-fledged family. The first few months after Jack moved in were a real joy. He brought laughter and joy with him, and their home was filled with fun moments. Oliver and Mary tried to create a comfortable and friendly atmosphere for Jack. Later, however, they began to notice strange things that bothered them. At first, they were minor occurrences. Oliver would get up too late for work, and one day his tools suddenly began to freeze in place. After noticing this, Oliver decided it was his own careless handling of the tools. Then strange things began to happen in the house. Books suddenly falling off the shelves, dishes moving on their own. All this kept them busy, but they tried not to notice. One evening, as the family gathered for dinner, Jack looked at his parents with delight and said, "I can help you if you want to get something." Oliver and Mary exchanged perplexed looks, but paid no attention to the boy's words. They only laughed, thinking it was just a childish fantasy. Soon, however, Oliver and Mary began to realize that Jack really had something special. One day, when they were discussing that they were short of money for new toys for Jack, he suddenly said, "You can just say the word and things will happen." They laughed, again taking it as a joke. But the next day, Mary received a package of toys left by a mysterious courier. With each event, Oliver and Mary paid more and more attention to Jack's abilities. They realized that the boy was capable of granting wishes, but did not immediately realize the power it possessed. At first, the couple used his powers for little things, ordering his favorite treats or small toys. They found it amusing and always tried to restrain their desires. But soon the family's life took an unexpected turn. While they were using Jack's abilities for every little thing, the neighbors began to notice that something strange was happening in Oliver and Mary's life. Their financial situation improved. They were able to make repairs to the house and even open a small workshop where Oliver and Mary invited children from the orphanage to teach them something useful. Neighbors began to ask questions about where they got their funds from. Rumors of the unusual family quickly spread through the neighborhood. Over time, envy developed among some of the neighbors. They whispered behind the backs of the young people, doubted their success and happiness, thinking that something dark was going on. Soon the couple came face to face with bullying. Government officials started knocking on their doors, wondering how they managed to solve all financial issues in such a short time. And their neighbors stopped visiting them, although Oliver and Mary tried to be friendly. In the end, they stayed only with Jack, but even that began to embarrass them. One day when it was raining and the atmosphere in the house was tense, Jack came up to them and said, "I don't want you to be sad. I can help." But this time his offer didn't elicit a laugh. Oliver and Mary glanced over, feeling a shadow of fear settle over their hearts. After Jack promised to help, strange things started happening in their lives again. The next day they saw that someone had left a bag of money in front of their house. The neighbors started whispering again. It was disturbing, but Jack, grinning from ear to ear, told them that everything was fine. Oliver and Mary, unsure of how to handle the situation, began to realize that the influence of Jack's abilities was becoming too strong. They realized that even the best intentions could be misunderstood. Now the whole neighborhood was watching their every move, looking for details so they could gossip and say that they had been dishonestly successful. In desperation, they turned to an old friend of theirs who used to be in mental health and worked with children with special abilities. He was somewhat surprised by their finding. "Jack is a unique boy, and his abilities need to be channeled in a safe way," he explained. "He shouldn't feel guilty for being able to help you." However, you need to learn how to use them properly. With his help, Mark and Lena began working on ways to channel Jack's abilities so they would bring good luck to everyone, not just them. They began holding classes to teach him how to control these gifts, but this proved to be no easy task. Jack, seeing the unkind looks of others and their displeasure at his parents' success, began to worry. He began to feel that his abilities were bringing him nothing but misfortune. Despite the difficulties, the couple continued to support the boy. They taught him that true desires should come from the heart and not upset anyone. They needed to prove that they were not cruel people, but a true family. One day, the most important thing to Jack was a proposal that came from the orphanage. They decided to organize a charity final to help other kids. This time they decided to use Jack's abilities, and upon reflection, they realized it was exactly what they needed. After raising money for the charity fundraiser, their home was once again a place full of laughter and joy. This inspired Jack, and he agreed to use his skills to make the event unforgettable. The fundraising evening was incredible. Jack, now confident in his abilities, used his gift to make everything, the sales, the music, and the rides, festive. Lots of people came out to congratulate the family and support the children at the orphanage. The money raised was huge, and the warmth that emanated from the evening surprised everyone. Everyone left with sincere smiles and good memories. After that evening, everything changed. The neighbors who were previously jealous began to look at Oliver, Mary, and Jack with new eyes. They saw that the gift was not a burden, but a blessing that contributed to happiness not only for them, but for others as well. The family earned the trust and support of the locals, and their home became a place where everyone wanted to come. Oliver and Mary remembered that love and patience are the most important things in life, and even if the road proved to be winding, it was important not to lose hope in themselves. They were well aware that the power they spoke of must serve not only for their own good, but also for those who needed it most. By learning to use Jack's unusual abilities for good, they became a true example to those around them, showing how love and kindness can change the world for the better. Neither envy nor mistrust could overshadow the light they felt in their hearts and the gift they now all carried together, the gift of doing good.